Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is asking for $54 million for immigrants flowing into Chicago.
Mayor Lightfoot penned a letter to state legislators asking for nearly $54 million for emergency services for migrants.
Whose fault is that?
It's absolutely mission critical. We cannot function without it. We have to get additional resources.
We agree with Lori Lightfoot. We can't afford them. Biden's border legacy is the gift that keeps on giving.
In a letter provided to WGN, Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot asking the state for nearly $54 million.
If she really loved migrants, she'd be asking for $100 million, probably even $100 billion.
Lightfoot saying the city has received a, quote, unusually large number of migrants.
Can you imagine being a South American fleeing violence in the street and corruption and being thrown into the frozen tundra of Chicago?
Prompting what she calls a historic level of collaboration between the state, county, and community partners.
It's been a tremendous effort. But what we now know is that funding is a challenge.
She only just now figured out that funding is a challenge. It's your job to know.
It's a challenge for the state. It's a challenge for us.
It's a challenge for the country. Welcome to America, Lori.
We're a welcoming city and a welcoming state. We've got to step up and provide the resources that are necessary to integrate them into our city.
Well, if you're a welcoming city and a welcoming state, you're asking for it. This is what you wanted.
The mayor criticizing Texas Governor Greg Abbott in his actions surrounding the busing of migrants to major cities, including Chicago, calling it a, quote, manufactured crisis.
Governor Greg Abbott isn't doing anything that Biden isn't doing in allowing the migrants to come here in the first place. He's just redistributing the problem out to Democrat cities, which is totally fair. If it's illegal for him to do, then it is illegal for Biden to do.
Meantime, Abbott tweeting earlier this week, quote, we're providing relief to local communities overwhelmed by Biden's open border policies.
Lori Lightfoot just wants to spend Texas's money. And Texas is saying, if you guys want them and you're the welcoming city, then take these migrants. Totally fair.
There's no communication. It is a cruel, inhumane ambush. And I don't know any way else to put it.
It's cruel and inhumane to do this to Greg Abbott, is what she's saying. Of course, she doesn't believe that. This is a Democrat, so it's like true for me, but not for thee.
It's an absolutely ridiculous thing that needs to be stopped. This is not the way to manage a crisis.
Yeah, you tell that to Biden. This is cruel and inhumane, and we agree it needs to stop. No, not busing migrants to Chicago, stopping them at the border. This is immoral. It is mean what Biden is doing by letting them in without enough resources.
Does there become a point when the city has to turn people away?
Well, I'm hoping we never get there.
Yeah, I hope we never get there either. Just keep busing them all into Chicago.
We've got to make sure that this national problem has a national solution.
Yeah, the national problem has a national solution. It's called a vote. And people keep voting this stuff in, the electors and the people that believe in these sanctuary cities. This is Lori Lightfoot's and Biden's dream come true. You own it. I'm Doug in Exile.